Hey, what's up guys, DiplexHeated here again. This video is kindly sponsored by Call of War. Sign up using the link in the description box below to get 13,000 free gold and 1 month of premium. Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of our custom Call of War game. Ukraine, Russia and Arkhangelsk are on the brink of destruction. Iraqi troops are moving north, some remaining stationed on the now massive border with Poland, a potential future enemy. Persia left the coalition and made allies with African and Indian powers. His spot around the table was swiftly and gladly replaced by Kazakhstan, further securing my eastern border. The Eastern African Union had made diplomatic attempts to gain rights to the Arabian Peninsula, but was met with a rough response. I made allies with French Sudan and Libya in order to further secure my Saudi Arabian ally. If war came with the EAU, Libya and French Sudan would surely take the opportunity to gain more land in Africa. Persia suddenly left the coalition after I had encouraged him to expand east. Apparently, he had made a secret and separate alliance with India. This would limit our expansion and make us a weaker target to stronger enemies further down the line. His departure came before I could present him with a diplomatic solution. Shortly after leaving the Mek, Persia made an alliance with the EAU, thus leaving me with no choice but to strike. Any available troops in Iraq were immediately ordered to engage Persian troops along the border and to make as many territorial gains as possible. This would allow the reinforcements more time to arrive. More and heavier Iraqi divisions had made their way back home from Jordan and the Caucasus and were now moving in from the south and north. Speed was at the essence since Indian troops were most likely on their way to support their recently gained ally. California had sent convoys carrying crucial materials and resources in aid of Iraq, allowing me to construct more divisions. Without his support, the short-term outcome could have taken a very different turn. Persian reinforcements were stronger than predicted, certainly faster. Turkestan was able to dispatch some light armored divisions around the rear of the Persian army, cutting them off from supply and any potential Indian reinforcements. The Persian army fought hard, harder than any other enemy I've encountered, and I was forced to withdraw some divisions along the front and play to my strengths. After a few days of hard fighting, the Persian army had finally been defeated. Persia was split between I and Turkestan, and my eastern allies could now advance further east into India. My troops could now return north, where my next challenge was waiting. Algeria had begun invading parts of Western Europe shortly after the European Union had fallen apart. Secret talks between Poland and I had resulted in a non-aggression pact and the ability to join the Mek. Despite this, I made sure my forces were ready to strike and quickly subdue Poland and its army. A day later, and my forces could stand down. Poland had entered the Mek and my focus now shifted east. Saudi Arabia prepared for an African invasion, while French Sudan and Libya had started infiltrating and dismantling the EAU, which had most likely moved its troops east in preparation for the invasion of Saudi Arabia. Swedish, Finnish and British troops were fighting Algerian forces in Spain and France, while Poland had just conquered what was left of Italy. Turkestan had also cleaned up India. The majority of my army was given the order to turn west instead of east, as Poland had just given me the okay to strike Sweden and Finland, old allies of Poland. Poland would focus all of its efforts on Germany. War in Europe was about to break out. French Sudan and Libya had completely dismantled the EAU, and there was no longer a threat from Africa. Saudi Arabia, my most trusted and loyal ally, was safe from any African aggression. I knew teaming up with Libya and French Sudan would be the only way to secure the safety of the Middle East, possibly also a game victory. More on that later. The invasion of Finland had begun. My intel suggested most of their troops were fighting in Central Europe, but recon had spotted heavy tank divisions around Helsinki and Oulu. Their strategic bombers stationed in Vasa would prove to be a serious problem, but I knew my army composition could deal with all threats if given a solid chance. Sweden, just like Finland, had most of its troops occupied further south. Polish troops were making swift gains in Germany and would engage any Finnish and Swedish troops nearby. My veteran light tank divisions from the Battle of Ankara were now dispersed with the goal to capture enemy industry and bases, preventing Finland from producing more equipment and operating its heavy bombers. Iraqi super heavy artillery came to good use as they could now bombard Swedish troops across the Baltic Sea. Flanking Iraqi forces had started capturing northern Sweden, and Iraqi Marines were about to land in northern Norway. Vasa and Helsinki remained in Finnish hands. They were not going down without a fight. While the battle raged on in Scandinavia, my part of the world was starting to shape out real nice. My allies in the east made steady gains, my two African friends were in near complete domination of their continent, and Poland had made quick work out of Germany. At this stage, for the first time in Call of War, I ranked as the highest scoring player. It was only a matter of time until my divisions had secured all of Scandinavia. My focus shifted back home, east. New troops were being trained, perhaps too many. This would turn out to put a massive strain on my supply and production. Turkestan and Kazakhstan was working in harmony to destroy the enemies of our coalition. Everything seemed fine, until it suddenly wasn't. The Eastern powers had swiftly made gains in India and forced Turkestan and Kazakhstan into subjection using their superior numbers and strength. This changed everything. Libya and French Sudan took their seats in the coalition and started sending troops east. Luckily, I had trained an army capable of holding back any foreign aggression, but it would prove to come at a very great cost. New Zealand had launched a naval invasion in Persia and was piercing through my core territory. My newly raised Republican Guard of nearly 100 divisions were ordered to attack. Air bases would soon be constructed in Iraq, allowing the massive air force of French Sudan and Libya to operate from the area. My forces met little resistance in Turkestan, but divisions from Burma, Sumatra, and Indochina were on their way. Iraq's biggest struggle was yet to show itself, but it would cost the nation more than any enemy had previously done. Alright guys, that's the end of this recap. I sort of included week 3 while I was at it, so the next update video will be the final recap of this particular game. I know I haven't covered anything going down in the Americas yet, but I'll get to that in the next video, I promise. Thank you guys for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you soon again. Ciao. Hey, what's up guys, Diplex here again. This video is kindly sponsored by Call of War. Sign up using the link in the description box below to get 13,000 free gold and 1 month of premium.